Well, good evening, everybody. It's KD5INM, and I didn't get a chance to get a video up. I've got a video in the camera right now. It's in the can, so to speak. I haven't put it up on YouTube yet, but everybody, give me a one if you can hear me. I just want to make sure that y'all hear me. Okay, cool. Okay. Tonight I worked on the travel trailer that we're planning on taking out to the country. We're gonna stay in the travel trailer. The plan is to stay in the travel trailer and work on the house out in the country. And the travel trailer had a little bit of I bought it, and it had a little bit of damage up in the back side, in the back of it, on I guess you would say it was on the curb side of it, but it had damage back there, and I replaced the piece of wood, 2x4 or a section back there, and what I had to do is I didn't want to go in there and take the whole thing apart, because it's not, at this point, it's not leaking back there. The people that I got it from had fixed the leaks and everything had been fixed on it. It had just been previous damage that was there. Wood was rotted. It basically was all gone. So what I did is just left the screws in there and took a tool. I have an oscillating tool and a little Harbor Freight little grinder tool, like a little Dremel tool, and took that and cut the ends of the screws off that were sticking through the aluminum skin, and cut a piece of 2x4. I got some I have some treated lumber, some 2x4s, and cut that and shaped it and fit it in there. So far I've just got the one piece fit in there, and it's in there pretty tight, but I still need to screw it in and mount everything up and finish making some supports. And there's a couple of roof joists that they're held up by part of the wall, because back there in the back part of the trailer is several walls, because there's the bathroom back there and there's a closet and all that. So it's not sagging or anything. It was just a point of the wood was gone, and I wanted to replace it and get it fixed, and then put new paneling and stuff back up in there, or at least put some paneling in there and paint it and get that fixed. I've got a little surprise coming in the mail. I don't know whether it'll get here tomorrow. I think it's going to get here tomorrow, but I'm not sure. But there'll be a video on that. I have a package, and there'll be a video with that. So I've not. I don't know whether I've talked about it before, but I may have talked about it before. But I have a 1,000-gallon plastic, it's a big poly plastic water tank that I'm planning on taking out to the farm, that we're going to use it. I'm not sure right now. It's clean. It has not had any water put in it. I've had it about 6 years. I bought it about 5-6 years ago, paid $300 for it. It was brand new. I bought it at a place called Atwood's. It's like a farm and home store, farm, tractor supply type place. I bought it there, and I've had it here at the house. The reason why I bought it, and I bought a water pump at the same time, because at that time in the town where I live, we thought for sure that they were having problems with water. And we thought for sure that we were going to have to start hauling water in order to get water in here. So I bought that tank, and since we didn't, they got their water situation kind of fixed up here. I never used the tank. We never used the pump, and so I have the pump and the tank. I can take that out to the country. We're going to use it, and I'm thinking about the possibility of maybe we might put fresh water in that, because there's a place not far from where the house is, about a quarter of a mile, that I can buy bulk water. So I was thinking about buying bulk water there instead of having the water actually turned on at the house. Just going and buy the bulk water, because that way, if I just buy the bulk water, then I'm just paying for the water as I need an ongoing bill, because they're gonna sit there and bill me whether I use water or not. So the tank is 1,000 gallons, 1,000-gallon tank. So I'm thinking maybe take that out there and put a little pump on that, like a little SureFlow pump, and pump out of that into the trailer, and just haul water down there to the trailer. I found a one of those 275-gallon water tanks with the aluminum frame. I found one of those for $80. I didn't buy it, but I saw it. So they're selling for about anywhere between $50 and $80. My dad has, let's see, I think he got about 8 of those, and all of them were free. All of them free. So I was like, I'm thinking maybe I might talk my dad into, I might sell or buy one from him. But I've got a trailer, we could easily put that on and just set it on that and wash it out, and drive a quarter mile down the road, fill that thing up, and then I could run water out of it or dump water into that other tank. But kind of what I was thinking about doing with that 1,000 gallons was at some point putting up gutters there at the house and collecting rainwater, and having that rainwater directed into that 1,000-gallon tank and using that for water needs around there. I could get some Berkey filters and we could filter it. So I mean, it would be a good drinking water. Yeah, go ahead, dive crew. No, I wouldn't haul 1,000 gallons. I don't have a tank that big. When I lived out in the country before, when I was a kid growing up, and I lived with my parents, we lived out in the country. We lived about 10 or 12 miles outside of town, but we had a one of those 400-gallon Army. It's an aluminum tank. It's an old Army, what they call a Camel, and an old Army tank, and we would go to another town because they had better water at this other town that was about 15, 20 miles away. We went there and would fill that tank there and then bring it back, and we had a 2,500-gallon in-ground concrete tank that we would dump the water into, and then we had a pump drop down into that tank with a filter and all that on it, and then we had the pump would pump it up into a tank that was above ground, and that would be pressurized. We would equalize the pressure with a air compressor, and that pump and everything had a pressure sensor on it, so it would pump up to so many pounds of pressure, and so it would pump it into the system. We had PVC water lines, CPVC and PVC water lines under the house, and it would pump it into the water lines, and we had water pressure. We turn on a tap and water came out, and that pump would every once in a while that pump would kick on and pressure up the system. We had water just like everybody else. So, but no, I don't have the trailer that I have would carry the 275 gallon, because that's eight pounds per gallon. So I mean, you're looking at quite a bit of weight there. But that trailer I have a couple of trailers that would actually manage that weight. And so it's only about a quarter mile. Just, I mean, you'd be down there and back in 5 minutes. Just go down there and you pay them, tell them how much you want, and you pay them, and yeah, 8 pounds per gallon, and fill that tank, and then come back down there and put it in the storage tank, or just hook it up. I could actually just leave it on that little 275 gallon tank and put a SureFlow pump on there and pump it up and hook it up to the travel trailer, and we'd have running water there. So that would save on water until some other arrangements are made. Or if we move out there, there is city water out there. I mean, there's treated potable city water out there, already run out there in the country, because this area is kind of a small. It's like a small unincorporated town, basically, is what it is. It's like a little community kind of thing. There's a couple of churches. There's one little. I'll have to go do video sometime of this store that's out there. It's a place called Kathy's. It used to be Kaufman's, but it's at a right at the crossroads, basically, of at a main crossroads. And you walk in there, and they've got the old wood floors with the old ice boxes and freezers. I mean, old antique stuff from back in the 30s. The whole place looks like like it's something that came from the Waltons. If you're familiar with the Waltons, I mean, it's like old. It's like Ike's General Store. Literally, this place. You walk in there. They at lunchtime they cook hamburgers and food and stuff there. But you can go in there and buy canned goods, and it's on old wooden shelves. And I mean, I'll have to do some videos sometime in the place, because it's been there a long time. It's really go in there. But other than that, go ahead, Leaper. Well, there are irrigation ditches out there, but we've had a drought, and the water that normally goes in the irrigation ditches comes from the lake there. They open up the gates on the lake and flood the irrigation ditches, but we've had a drought, and so they haven't filled the irrigation ditches. And there is a little bit of a kind of a creek there, but it's not on my property, and it's dry too. So I mean, there's not really any water out there unless it's rainwater. I mean, I would have, if I'd had that tank out there and had gutters on the house, then yeah, there probably would have been quite a bit of water there. But right now there's I don't have that set up, and there is the city water out there. we may end up using that. But as far as like the 275 gallons, I'm sure it might last us. I mean, if we're frugal with it, it could last us. It could last us maybe a week. I don't know. It just all depends on what we, how much water we need to use. I mean, if it empties, I just go down the road and get more. Just go down to that store and pull up around through there and get another load and just take it down there. But I have to do it. That store they do have. I mean, they roll up the sidewalks around there at 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. So I mean, I'd have to go down there before 6 o'clock to get anything, because they roll up the pump or the sidewalks there. They do have gas there. They sell gasoline. They have gas pumps there, and the gas pumps are like 1970s era gas pumps. I mean, they're the old kind that you flip the lever, you take the handle out from the side, and then flip the lever up, and you see the old mechanical dials spin around and it zeroes out, and then you hear the thing come on and you start pumping the gas. It's a kind of a step back in time. Yeah. But it's kind of a step back in time to go there. But I'll have to do a video, go in there and ask the lady if I can come in there and video and talk to her maybe about the place, because it's a really cool place. But yeah, we'll take showers and stuff like that. We'll definitely be clean and stuff. As far as washing clothes, we may have to come to town to do that. We don't have the facilities out there. I mean, I do have a washer and dryer out there, but there won't be any electricity, and you know, not unless we're running a generator or something for now. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to save money while we're doing the remodel on the house, because we're doing this on a budget. So if I don't have these bills, and usually around in this area if you're connected, they're charging you, even if you don't use any electricity, or even if you don't use any water, you're connected, they're charging you. So I want to avoid those charges. I want to keep all the money that I have, instead of it going in somebody else's pocket. I want to use it to go towards the house. So go ahead, Leaper. Yes, I've thought about that. What we're going to do is we're going to the trailer. It has a shower, like a shower wand that you hang on the wall. I think it'll. We've ran it, and we filled the tank with water. And the last time we took the trailer out, we filled the tank, and we've used it. And I took a shower. It was a cold one, but I took a shower. It didn't take me long at all, just to wet myself down and get soaped up and rinsed off, and I was in and out in a couple of minutes, less than 5 minutes. I was in and out. So I don't think we didn't use that much water. There was still quite a bit of water in the tank, so in the storage tank that's on board. So yeah, so I don't think it's going to be a problem as far as water saving and stuff. Go ahead, Jeep.
Yeah, Katie, you're talking about the storage of the 1,000-gallon. Do you plan on putting that, keeping that above ground, or do you plan on putting that underground, or what's that situation? And just for curiosity, do you remember what that 1,000 gallons cost you?
Yeah, I bought it like 5-6 years ago, and it was $300. It was $300. It was brand new. It was $300. Yeah, what I'm thinking about doing is just keeping it above ground and insulating it, building like a wooden. I don't know if you've ever seen a channel on YouTube called Liberty Acres. I don't know whether anybody's familiar with Liberty Acres, but he built a water catchment, and he has his tank. I think his tank is probably about 500 gallons, but he has his tank underneath his water catchment, and it drains into that tank. And then he built, he actually insulated it with foam and stuffed foam around the outside and on the top, and then put spray foam in on top of that. I mean, he has it insulated really well, and then put wood around the outside of it and a wood top on it. So he actually has the thing insulated and protected. So I was kind of thinking about maybe doing that. It's either that or I'm going to build a tower, and I've seen this done around this area, where they actually built a metal tower and put the tank up on top of the tower, and then they pump the water up into it, and then it gravity feeds. So I mean, it has enough pressure in order to gravity feed from off the top of that tower. So I would just have to make sure that I put enough support in there. I can weld, and I've got a welder, so I mean, I can build framework and stuff, build a metal framework. I would just have to make sure that every bit of the bottom of it was supported and it didn't have any open spots, because then that plastic is probably, I would say that poly tank is probably a quarter of an inch thick, maybe quarter or 3/8 of an inch thick. It, so it would have to be fully supported on the bottom to be able to hold all that weight. You know, you're looking at 1,000 gallons is 8,000 pounds, so it would have to be at least 4-inch, 3 or 4-inch thick, diameter pipe. Yeah, heavy duty. So it's going to have to be heavy duty. It's either that or it's going to sit on the ground, and I'll just I'll put a bunch of bricks underneath it, and just make just a level area with some sand. I could use sand or bricks, but I'd like to kind of maybe raise it up a little bit and not just let it sit flat straight on the ground, but raise it up. And I've got some sand I could put down. And just put sand down and just make sure it's completely supported underneath to where it doesn't cause the bottom of the tank to flex and crack, and then we have a problem. But the tank has got I mean, you could literally crawl. You could crawl inside of it. I may not be able to crawl in it. I might have my son crawl in it, but but it's got a lid on the top of it that's big enough. It's probably, I'd say, 18 to 20 inches in diameter. This lid comes off, and then it has a connect on the side where you can get the water out of it. So we may. That's kind of what I've got planned for this. Okay. Go ahead, dive crew. Go ahead, dive crew. Go ahead, dive crew. Did you go ahead, dive crew? Okay, are you hearing me now? Do you hear me now? Okay, go ahead, dive crew. Okay. Okay. All right, go ahead. Go ahead there, Leaper. Oh, what was winter like? Okay. Well, let's see.
If I can just jump in there, I'm hearing KD very clearly. I just will let everyone know audio is a problem with some people on Paltalk. Several people have been in and out and IM me saying they just didn't have any sound. So if KD, if you can just come to the microphone again and speak, and then if people cannot hear you, I suggest they leave the room. But let's see if we can hear you first, KD. All right, first of all, can I have a 1 from those who can hear me? All right, just quickly, if you think you have audio problems, it's only going to take you a couple of seconds to leave the room and then come back in again. So if someone can put that in text for me, save me writing and talking. Those who cannot hear me, leave the room and come straight back in again. All right, Katie, if you want to continue, mate. Can you hear me, KD? No, KD's going to reboot. All right, yeah, don't be alarmed, people. That's been happening all week on Paltalk. You'll be in the room and suddenly you realise you can't hear anyone. So it's just one of the glitches, the many one of the glitches that Paltalk offer you. But I've enjoyed tonight's shows, both KD's and of course our guest tonight, Off-Grid Jet. That was a great show, and KD's is good as well. KD, if you just want to summarise the show and let us know what's coming up maybe for next week, and then we'll wrap up the show and open the room up for everyone.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's see. This next week, I plan on putting up some videos. We're gonna have a few. Have a surprise. So we're gonna have a little surprise, and got a little surprise coming. The post office says it's supposed to be here tomorrow. So, but other than that, right now we're still working on the trailer and still working on the house.
All right, thanks, KD. We have had a little bit of audio problem tonight, but most of us got through the show, so thank you again. It's always interesting to what you're up to. Sure, some people will want to in these videos, so do us a favour, KD, drop your link to your YouTube channel